Alrighty, so here we go. I'm going to walk into my kitchen just to show you. I live in a one-bedroom apartment with my husband, and this is basically how we normally live. Blankets. My husband has his little setup. I have mine. Here's the bag from Lush. I think it's cool that it says fighting animal testing, and pretty much this is what the store is going to look like, the labeling and stuff that you're looking for. I think that they are an amazing company. I don't mind giving them my money. Not a big deal, and trust me, I work hard for my money. On to the hair dye. Once you get the bricks, you break them up, and you set up a double boiler like this. This is just a simple metal pan, which has now cooled, obviously. I filled it about half full with water. It's a 2-quart saucepan, just normal, average. I let the water boil. I stuck a Pyrex dish on the top. Be careful when you use glass dishes, and you don't want to use any metal when you're mixing hair dye. Something about the way that it oxidizes or whatever. I'm certainly not a chemist. But anyway, you don't want to use metal when you're working with hair dye. That's why the double boiler. That's why the glass pot on top. If you have stoneware, something Pyrex, something that preferably if you were to put it in the oven, it's not going to crack. Because obviously hot glass cracks. Blah. Anywho. So you get your little bricks of hair dye, you just go ahead and plop them in here. Now, one thing that I did not do last time that I did do this time is I actually made some coffee, and I went ahead and I decided to use that because I want my hair to hopefully come out with a bit more of like a brown tone to it. So I went ahead and I mixed up I brewed a pot of coffee. This was, let's see, this is a 4-cup measurer, and it's about, I don't know, 2/3 to 1/3 of a cup, 2/3, to 3/4 of a cup full. So I just used that to mix. I just dumped it right in on top of the blocks of henna, and I used my wooden spoon. Again, don't use metal when you're working with hair dye. I'm sure you could use a spatula or a plastic one or silicone if you wanted. And it's got the consistency here of brownie batter. Last time I made the mistake of making it a bit too thick, which made it silly easy to apply. You pretty much just lump it on your head and you're good to go. But I wanted it this time to really sit and sort of coat the follicles a bit more, and I tend to leave it on for an excessive amount of time, so I just chose to do it that way. So there you have it. You get your blocks of henna, create a double boiler the way that I said. Just go ahead and throw your blocks in here, mix it up. I used coffee, like I said, because I have Caca Brun. I have brown hair. I don't want red. I don't want black. I want it to be as brown as possible. So I threw about 2.5 to 3 cups of coffee in with it, and just continue to stir and melt. The whole process, as far as melting this, took maybe 15 minutes or so. But it really wasn't difficult. I didn't have to stand over it and stir it or whatever. I'm stirring it now just to sort of reconstitute it and just to give you guys an idea of what the consistency of it should look like. You want to use gloves when you work with it, but again, like it's just a fairly liquidy consistency, like frosting or cake batter or whatever. But you can see, you get the idea. You ladies are smart. If you're watching this, you're smart. So double boiler, throw the blocks in, mix it up with about 2.5 to 3 cups of boiling water or coffee. Go ahead and let it just set in the pan and stir it as much as you think you need to until it gets to this type of a consistency, and then we are going to go ahead and apply it.